Welcome to the Workamper Show, brought to you by Workamper.com. This podcast helps you discover how to finance your RV travel dreams. Each one of our episodes will introduce you to people who are already living the RV lifestyle or to work camping opportunities all around the U.S. You'll also learn how to hit the road the right way and make the most of every opportunity. Now let's turn over today's show to your host, Greg Gerber.
Today we're talking about something every RV owner should pay close attention to, their roof. More importantly, we're going to show how work campers can make money by helping other people take care of their RV roof as well. Today's episode is brought to you by Workamper News. Since 1987, they've been helping businesses of all types to find and recruit work campers. Work campers serve in a variety of positions around the country to help further the mission of great businesses. When you become an employer member at Workamper.com, you'll have access to resources and support to help you develop and implement your work camper recruiting strategy. In today's market, it is more challenging than ever to keep a flow of applicants coming in. Workamper News recommends advertising your current and future work camping job openings frequently throughout the year, as well as scheduling some time to regularly search the Workamper resume database because new work campers are joining daily. Work campers like to plan many months ahead, so now is the time to take action to begin developing your work camper team. Learn more and download our quick start guide for employers at workamper.com/employer. Today's guest is Greg Kazmierczak with EPDM Coatings. It is a company behind RV Roof Magic, a liquid butyl rubber product designed to extend the life of RV roofs by 15 to 18 years. Greg describes it as the only one-coat, no-primer needed sealant that can withstand ponding year-round. Whether you're trying to prevent future leaks or to stop an existing one in its tracks, this do-it-yourself coating forms a seamless, waterproof membrane that chemically bonds to the roof surface for long-lasting protection. But here's the best part. It also presents a compelling income opportunity for work campers. They can either work as service provider providing the product or as a sales agent introducing it to RV dealers and repair shops. To tell us more about RV Roof Magic and how work campers can get involved in the business, please welcome Greg Kazmierczak to the show. Thanks for joining me today, Greg. I really appreciate the time. What is EPDM Coatings all about?
Sure. First, thanks for having us. First time here. EPDM Coatings, we manufacture the only liquid butyl rubber in the world. We've been around since 1985. Started out originally for just EPDM rubber roofs, and over the years expanded into Ponds, which is our Pond Pro 2000 product, and our RV Roof Magic product. Very unique characteristics with these products basically boils down to the proprietary solvent that the company came up with years ago, and that really what differentiates our sealant from the other ones like your elastomerics, your acrylics, and your silicones. It's a one-coat application and never needs a primer. It's the only roof coating that we know of, quite frankly, that will take ponding water literally 365 days a year. About 6 or 7 years ago, they did some thermal testing, and it showed to reduce the surface temperature by 30 degrees. It can go on pretty much anything except silicone or PVC, which is really why the RV community really has embraced it over the past 15 years. It can go over EPDM, fiberglass, Hypalon rubber, vinyl. It can even go over any third-party coating. So if they put an elastomeric over it, that's not an issue. The only thing it can't go over is silicone or PVC. But that's pretty much what we've been doing since 1985.
And so you're in the RV industry, you're putting it on the roof. Why do people do that?
A number of reasons. We basically have two types of customers. We have the customers that want to take a proactive effort and say, look, my roof isn't leaking right now, but I want to get another 15 to 18 years out of it. And then we have the customer that says, I got a leak and I don't know what to do about it. So we first try to understand what the problem is, where the leak might be coming from. If they are pretty sure that the leak is coming from a certain area, they don't need to do the entire roof, particularly if it's a metal roof or a fiberglass roof. But when you start getting into the rubber roofs, rubbers, particularly EPDM or ethylene propylene rubber, has a tendency to start to degrade over the years. And I'm sure many of your listeners will understand this, but if you get up there and you start to see black on your roof, that is a telltale sign of an EPDM rubber roof. It's just how they manufactured it. And over the years, you're going to start to lose that white coating and it starts to turn black. You'll actually get up there and be able to wipe your hands and get a white chalky residue. That is definitely a time where you want to put a coating on your roof. And again, unfortunately, we do have some customers that they let their roof go to the point where a coating can't help them. Either water's gotten in underneath through to the substrate where they're starting to experience wood rot. And unfortunately, at that point, it's a tear off. And we wish we would have had these customers a year ago, because you're $300 or $350 for a coating versus $5,000 or $6,000 for a new roof. We've heard all the horror stories at the trade shows over the years, not just from customers that have come up to our booth, but from RV dealers that have basically said, we hate giving that bad news to the customer. Unfortunately, their roof has gone to the point where a roof replacement is the only thing we can do at this point.
So you don't replace the roof, but you would shore it up to prevent further damage? Is that what it is?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. We make the only liquid butyl rubber in the world. It's a DIY, do-it-yourself product. It's a very simple application. We have tons of videos and plenty of before and after pictures on our websites. It's an extremely cost-effective alternative versus roof replacement. And we give a 10-year warranty with our product. They should get another 15 to 18 years out of it. Over that course of that 15 to 18 years, they're only going to lose about 10 of the 20 mil. The product's put down at a 20 mil. And during that 15 to 18 year cycle, they're going to lose about half of that mil rate. So if they do decide to keep their roof or their RV for that period of a time and they do want to recoat it, they're only going to need to be purchasing half of the material that they purchased before.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
How is it applied?
Just a simple 3/8-inch nap paint roller. You don't want to get a very inexpensive roller because this is a solvent-based coating. That's pretty much the claim to the fame with it. So if you do get a really inexpensive roller, the fibers are probably going to come out of the roller due to the solvent. But that's an important thing. Thank you. I wanted to mention that and go into a little more detail. Regarding the solvent that the company came up with, the best way we've explained it over the years, if you were to look at this under a microscope as it's drying, you'd basically see what resembles a bunch of green marbles and a bunch of letter T's. And at the end of those letter T's are hooks, like you have on the end of a fishing hook. Those T's are the molecular strand of the solvent. And as the product is curing, it just doesn't dry on the surface like other roof coatings and sealants, but it actually chemically cross-links and it literally fuses itself to the roof, making them a permanent resident of your existing roof. That's one of the main reasons why it only requires one coat and it never needs a primer. We don't even manufacture a primer. Regardless, for our RV industry, our pond, or our residential and commercial roof product, we don't manufacture a primer.
Okay.
Because it's never needed. Yeah.
So it just rolls on and somebody can do it by themselves. They don't need to hire a professional to come in and do that. Okay.
No,
so
fortunately not. Forms a nice, smooth, seamless membrane. So when it's fully cured, it looks like somebody put a 200 square foot piece of sheet rubber on your roof.
Okay.
Yep.
Do you apply the coatings for people or do you supply them with the material for them to do themselves or a little both?
Nope. Great question. We actually are the manufacturer.
Okay.
Now, we do deal an awful lot with RV repair shops throughout the United States. So if a customer does happen to call in and say, you know what, for whatever reason, I don't want to apply it, sometimes we can help them. We'll ask for their zip code or their city in the state, and we have a database here. We can find out if there's somebody local who might be able to do it. What's interesting is we're finding more and more remote RV repair shops coming online. I think just this year alone, I think we signed 7 or 8 up. And I don't know if that's something new or just something we weren't aware of, but we're getting hefty amount of phone calls, people literally saying, I'm getting into the business of. I guess it makes sense. There's no brick or mortar. You don't have to worry about insurance for your building, electricity, utilities, or anything. You just get in your truck, you call us, you buy a few pails of the product, and you're in business. There's one gentleman who's in Florida. It's a fascinating story. He called us about 3 years ago. He's retired. He hires 4 or 5 college students. On a Saturday and a Sunday, he teaches them how to apply the product. And then they go to all the RV parks. And he takes flyers with them. And he gives a free gallon to the manager of the RV park in exchange for letting them put the flyers on the windshields. And then he gets calls. And that's his summer business. I'm not going to divulge how much he makes, but he does very well over the course of a summer. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Pretty fascinating.
That's what I was going to ask. Since you're on the Work Camper show, this must be an opportunity for work campers somehow. So is this to run businesses of their own applying this kind of coating, or to sell it to local stores?
There's several things. We did actually have 2 people that called us from our ad that we had placed on Workamper, one who actually now is a remote RV installer, and another one who's in the process of. As a matter of fact, the one who is already, he started with us right after the Hershey show. He called us, and I think he's done 6 or 7 units already.
Okay.
So yeah, there's definitely an opportunity there. We provide full support for anybody who's interested in that type of venture. We also hire people to help us at our trade show booths. Last year we went to Connecticut and we were at Hershey, and I think this year we're slated for 3. So a big shout out to Kelly, Daniel, Ralph, Sherry, and Deborah, who helped us from Workamper at the show. They were terrific. I think we had a blast. We will be calling them again this year because we are going to be at the booth inside the arena again. Looking forward to that. So yes, helping us at trade shows is definitely an option. And also we have some individuals, we call them independent agents, is what we like to call them, where they're able to go out to RV parks, visit RV repair shops. They can go to local trade shows where they are, walk around, walk up to RV dealers and RV repair shops who might be exhibiting, introduce them about the product, and they earn a nice hefty commission off of their sales. All their sales are protected because when they do go into our system, they have their own particular login. So once they're registered in the system, any order they place, we know, or the system knows that order came from that particular source. What's nice about this, we have about 5 of them who are doing this right now. And what's nice about it is any repeat business, it's automatic commissions. So if you have an RV repair shop that places, let's say 2 orders a month, and let's just do something to calculate 5, so that's $15,000. After the first order that's placed from the agent, it's a simple phone call every single month that they're getting. Just a matter of, hey, how are you? Place an order. Yep. And it's an automatic commission.
Okay.
Your insurance policy, every year, your insurance agent gets a certain percentage of your policy fee. And outside of making a couple phone calls here, seeing how you're doing, the commission keeps on coming in year after year.
Do you have specific territories where the work campers could be working, or once they're assigned to it? So if they go into, for example, Minnesota, for one summer, hit all the dealers in that area, can somebody come in after that and follow up after them, or would that be their territory going forward?
Terrific question. No.
Okay.
If they're generating sales from that particular area, those are protected territories for that. Yes.
Okay. They are protected.
We've had some people who try this and say they wanted to be protected, and after 3 months we call them and we did the training, we invested in. It wasn't a good fit for them, or they just felt that they didn't want to do this anymore. Obviously, you can't give that kind of individual protected territory. But yeah, if somebody is really committed and they're interested in making some money, yeah, by all means, we're going to protect that territory. Sure.
So this is the territory for selling the product to businesses. If somebody
Correct.
wanted to develop a business of his own to put the product onto RVs, like at our RV parks and things like that, is that still possible? Or is that something a full-time work camper would be able to do when they're traveling around the company or country, or would they have to worry about protected territories?
No, we actually have 2 people that do that. And as a matter of fact, if, some of your work camper audience, if they know an RV repair shop or an RV supply store, and that RV supply store winds up stocking the product, that's another opportunity. And in that instance, the commissions could be significantly higher, because if you're an RV repair store or a mobile RV repair individual, you're limited by how many customers are coming in with a bad roof. But if you're an RV supply store, now you're stocking the product on the shelf.
Right.
Now you're having people coming in constantly, and you're constantly turning that inventory over, which means that shop owners constantly calling that agent saying, hey, I need more product.
So the work campers, when they're involved in you, could go to an RV show and demonstrate how to apply the product? to people.
They can certainly do that.
And
Sure.
they can offer to do it for people like myself who would be afraid to get on the roof and
Correct.
apply something on. Okay.
Correct. And like I said, they have an iPhone or they have an iPad. They can put the sales right through their point of sale at the trade show booth or right at they're walking into an RV repair shop and the guy's, yeah, I'll try this. Give me 3 gallons. They can process the order right there, process a credit card right there. Sure.
That's neat.
Yeah, we have all those systems already built in place over the years.
Is there training provided for somebody who wanted to learn how to apply this?
Absolutely. We have 5 trainings a year.
Okay. And so people would have to travel to one of the trainings?
Nope.
Is that it? No?
It's all done on Zoom. We need at least 10 individuals before we have a training session. We go through the history of the product. We go through the various substrates that it can be applied on, if there's any nuances with the substrates. In addition to the RV Roof Magic, we also have a cleaner. We have a seam type product that they can make commissions off of. Because when we're on the phone with a customer, one thing we want to make sure of is that substrate or that roof is perfectly clean before they apply the product on. And a mistake that some people make is that they will clean the product and there'll be mold spores still on the roof. Unfortunately, if you have living mold spores, regardless of what coating you put on the roof, the mold spores can grow through the coating. So we have a cleaner called Roof Protect that has a fungicide and a mildewcide built into it that will kill those mold spores prior to the application. And we also tell the customer that once the product is applied, let's say next year you're at an RV park and you want to wash your roof again, you can use it again to wash your roof. So there's an upsell opportunity when you're at an RV repair shop. It's not just about a product for RV leaks. If your customer has an RV leak, it's also a conditioning product or a cleaning agent. You might want to consider stocking the Roof Protect also. And if you have any problems with your seams down the line, we have a product called Seam Tight. So if your customer comes in with a problem with seams, there's a product for him as well. So what we try to do is, while the customer's up there on the roof fixing a leak, we want them to look at all the nuances of the roof. Are there any issues around the vents or the ACs? Has any of the Eternabond tape come loose? Has any of the caulk become brittle? If so, you want to replace that brittle caulk, put down new caulk, and you want to do all that prep work first, because here's your opportunity to put all the caulk down so it's not seen. All the seams are all reinforced with either tape or a poly fabric. Then you put the RV Roof Magic over the top. Now, at that point, nothing is visible anymore. We've had customers call up before and they'll put a coating down. And after they put the coating down, they'll put the caulk around. So it would have been so much easier if you put the caulk down first and then the coating. That way the caulk isn't susceptible to the environmental factors.
That makes sense. So once this material is applied to the roof, if the RVer needs to go through the roof to add a component or something like that, is it possible to do that, or is it really difficult?
Nope. Actually, it's very simple. And we've had many situations in the past, I should say, with customers who have used our product that called us and said, hey, I just went into a RV park, or there was a guy last summer. He actually got part of his roof redone. And the reason for that is he had a bunch of pine cones and sap all over the roof. So he had to get his roof redone, half of it. Only the other half stuck, which fine, the other half was under the pine trees. Long story short, he got it fixed. He pulled it back into his home and he scraped the roof with a heavy branch. And he called us and he says, can I use this for the roof? I said, absolutely. I said, did you look at your seams? Did it pull up your seams? No, it just put a half an inch gouge right through one of the corners. And I said, no, you can certainly do that. You just buy a gallon of the product, make sure the surface is clean. And you're going to need to put it on obviously heavier than normal because it's a sunken gouge in your roof. But once it cures, it's going to form a nice, smooth area. And yeah,
okay.
He was thrilled. He thought he was going to have to go back to the repair shop and they were going to have to do some major work to his roof. But yeah, from time to time, we'll have the customers that, whoops, I backed up or something fell on the roof. Sure.
Okay. So once the material is applied as well, and they want to go through and wash it, like you had said, to remove any mold that might be accumulating, etc., that doesn't damage the product when they use the chemical to wash the roof?
No, not at all. As a matter of fact, we had done some testing on 4 different types of acids and concentration of acids. and it passed the go on all of those. So we were very confident that any cleaner out there on the market would not hurt the product. No.
It sounds like a great opportunity for somebody who likes to
Absolutely.
travel full time and just get to a campground, put out a couple of signs or whatever, notice in the office that they are willing to do this roof. It's not restoration, but it's a roof protection product.
Correct. You're basically
do that.
extending your life another
Okay.
15 to 18 years.
What do the people typically make to do this? They're independent contractors and business owners themselves, right?
Yep.
They're not employed by you.
Right. I would say that if you're at a campground and let's say you have a 32 foot 256, you're going to want to clean the roof one day, let it dry out, assuming there's no prep work needed or regarding seams or any of the caulk that's needed, simply cleaning the roof and then applying the product the next day. I would venture to say $750 to $1,000.
That's a better deal than I had when I got my roof fixed with a similar product. It was several $1,000s to get that done. So it looks like this is a really good deal, and it's affordable for people.
Yeah. And again, the reason it's affordable is because it doesn't require a primer and it's a one coat. To any of your listeners who are interested in actually getting into the business of applying it, that is one of the huge selling points. If you look at this versus the other products, some of the products, especially if you're going over a third-party coating, requires a primer. And then it also requires a top coat. So now you're at two costs. Some of them require a primer and two coats. So now it's not just the cost of the product, but it's 2 or 3 passes of labor. Now your viewer, let's say Bob, one of your viewers says, you know what, I listened to this podcast and I always wanted to do this kind of business. Now Bob can go into an RV park and say, this is the product, it's one coat, doesn't require a primer. I'm going to save you X amount of money versus these other coatings that require multiple coats because I only have to put it on one time and I only have to put one product down. So thank you for reminding me, because that is a huge selling point when you go in and speak with an individual that has an RV with a leak or wants to extend the life of their roof.
I really think that's what the situation was for me. It required 2 or 3 passes of product in order to do it. It was installed over several days. The installation was easy, but it had to have time to cure between each of the stages.
Between coats.
So if there's a work camper who wants to do this kind of as a business, can they have the product shipped directly to them, correct?
We have 2 choices. We can ship it directly to them or we can ship it directly to their customer.
If they are hiring somebody else or finding somebody at a trade show or even at a campground who wants to do it themselves, then they can just ship this stuff directly to it. Okay.
For example, the one gentleman who we did meet last year from Workamper, he probably keeps about 60 or 65 gallons in his garage at all time because he actually goes out and he does installs, but he also has 4 RV repair shops and an RV supply store.
Okay.
That he discovered. And when he sends an order into our website, the database knows where that product goes. That goes directly to its customer. That doesn't go to his home. So it streamlines the process for him. And then obviously he follows up with a phone call from time to time, seeing how everything is going, if they have any questions about the product, or if we happen to, if the customer or the RV repair shop, maybe he hasn't bought any of the cleaner. He might say, hey, have you tried the cleaner? Why don't you try the cleaner? And this is the reasons why this is the best cleaner out there. And again, it's just more commission for that individual. Sure. And if they get in the habit of using the cleaner, particularly the RV repair shops, if they get in the habit of using the cleaner, they're going to use it for every single unit that comes into their bay.
So with the figures you provided before, a 32-foot RV with no real work needed to prepare the roof, just the cleaning and the application of the material, and they are charging between $750 and $1,000, and then it's about $350 for one coating is what their cost would be. So they would be making about $500 to $600, it looks like. $400 to $600.
Correct.
It's not bad for a day's work.
Not bad at all.
You would need.
Now, if you have 7 or 8 units at the campground, that particular week, that's not a bad day.
Exactly.
Or a bad week. Yeah.
Exactly. Where can people get more information about this if they'd like to learn more about the product or to talk to you about becoming a distributor?
Absolutely. They can obviously visit our website, rvroofmagic.com. If they're interested in signing up to work at a trade show, future trade show, they can contact Blanca. She's at extension 4.
Okay.
And if they're interested in signing up to be an agent, they can contact me directly. I will give you all those phone numbers here. So
Okay.
for Blanca, it's 855-281-0907. And she's at extension 3 for that phone number. And then extension 9 for myself.
Okay, same phone number if they wanted to learn how to be an agent.
Yeah,
Okay, very good. Thank you for sharing this opportunity with me.
Well, appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
It sounds like something every RVer really needs to have to protect their roof because it's...
Hopefully they don't need it, but over the years, the RV repair shops that we've dealt with, that I've spoken to, their one claim to fame is that they've never had customers come back and complain, and that's their concern.
Mhm.
When that RV goes out of their bay, in a very nice way, I'm saying this, they don't want that customer coming back. And they said with this product, that was a relief for them because they've never had a customer come back and have any issues about their coating. So
Thank you for sharing this with me. I
Thank you.
appreciate it. And best
appreciate it.
wishes.
Have yourself a great weekend.
That was a great interview with Greg Kazmierczak with RV Roof Magic. If you're looking for a side hustle that travels with you, EPDM Coatings offers a practical, low-overhead business opportunity for work campers. As Greg explained, RV Roof Magic is a high-performance roof coating that RVers love for its durability, simplicity, and cost-effectiveness. Just one coat applied with a basic paint roller is all it takes to protect your RV roof for well over a decade. Work campers can plug into this opportunity in several ways. First, EPDM Coatings hires people to staff their trade show booths. Then, some work campers offer mobile roof coating services while earning between $400 and $600 per RV. Others become independent agents who promote the product at RV shows, repair shops, and campgrounds. Those work campers earn commissions on initial and repeat orders. It's a turnkey way to build your own mobile business. With no storefront and no overhead, EPDM Coatings takes care of the product fulfillment. Work campers just focus on building relationships and helping fellow RVers to protect their rigs. Greg offers virtual training via Zoom multiple times every year. To learn more, visit roofmagic.com or contact the team directly. If you're interested in the trade show work, call Blanca at 855-281-0907 extension 3. To become a sales agent or installer, reach out to Greg Kazmierczak at the same number, but use extension 9. Whether you're looking for a part-time gig or full-time income, this opportunity might just be the right one for you. Today's episode was sponsored by Workamper News. Much more than just a job listing website, when you put the tools of this professional service into action, you'll find out just how easy it can be to turn your work camping dreams into reality. A Workamper membership opens the door to a one-stop shop for all things work camping. Being the original resource for work camping, you'll find the largest number of job listings, be able to connect with the community of work campers, and view resources compiled by experts who've been enjoying the RV lifestyle for many years. If you're serious about leading a successful and enjoyable work camping lifestyle, then membership is for you. Join today at www.workcamper.com. Embark on new adventures today with the support of Workamper News behind you. That's all for this week's show. Next time I'll be speaking with an employer looking for work campers for his Montana Bed and Breakfast Inn. I'll have details on the next episode of The Workamper Show. Thank you for listening.